It's Rad, and in this live stream, we're gonna check into Pluto retrograde, going in retrograde in a day or two, in a couple of days. 4th of May, 11:27 a.m. and the degree is going to be 3 degrees in 49 minutes. That is happening in Aquarius and is going to be in retrograde all the way up until October 13th, if I am not mistaken. Give or take a day, depending on what time zone you're living in. And so, how this is going to affect us? Well, according to my tarot, I have drew the cards beforehand, so I can use them for the thumbnail. So the first one that I drew for Pluto retrograde is a Four of Swords. Then the second card, which came up, that is a Seven of Pentacles. And the third one that came up for Pluto retrograde, that will be the Magician. So these three cards, and that is how the elemental dignity stands here. So hopefully for the individual star signs, the readings for the individual star signs are going to be good, because Four of Swords and Seven of Pentacles, these two cards, well, they do not predispose for good things. One of the things that these couple of cards are describing is that, you know, we may end up being susceptible to scams, and certain scams could be attempted on us. Obviously, these are going to be individual cases, but long story short, it shows that for the most part, people are not going to see eye to eye when it comes to investments. And for the most part, there are going to be attempts with almost nothing invested, everything to be taken, which is the definition for a scam. So we need to be extra vigilant. It doesn't mean that we are gonna definitely be scammed, but just that there are gonna be attempts. In some people, these are gonna be attempts for big scams, for others almost negligible, but nonetheless are gonna be there, at least according to my cards. And like I said, it will be important that we end up being vigilant for such an activities. And definitely, that goes without saying, but not just under a Pluto retrograde, but all the time. Just whatever information, either shocking or being way too good to be true, is presented to us, it's important that we double check it against what we know to be true, and find out at least second opinion, at least second source. Now, when it comes to the other elemental dignity here, which is the Four of Swords and the Magician, okay, this relates to the people we doom faithful and we deem companions. And these two cards speaks that Pluto retrograde actually is going to have a very amicable influence over the relationship and over the communication that we're going to have with these people, and the negotiations or the shared ideas, the points of views, will be able to be pushed through. I don't want to say forced through, it's more like pushed through. In other words, through a rather lengthy and also quite deep and profound conversations. There will be literally no situation under which we cannot express, you know, for example, our feelings, for example, our idea, for example, our points of view, and not to be understood from the other side. Therefore, we will be able to explain ourselves to its fullest, and also hopefully convince the others into our righteousness if we so need to do. And also Pluto retrograde, it is a fantastic period according to these couple of cards in which we can for good a solve problems and as well predispositions. It's like address the issue and just solve it, because throughout these 4 months, I believe it is, it seems that this almost with little to gain everything also is going to be in effect for a personal growth, and almost with little efforts we will be able to resolve, like I said, the concerns and the issues, the problems to their full extent, under which and after that we won't have to deal with such kind of a inconveniences any longer. So that is the collective how Pluto retrograde for the most part is going to oppress an effect on us. And now a few notes about the show before I move forward. There are going to be 12 readings just like this one, one for each star sign, and I'm going to run down the ecliptic, starting up from Aries, going all the way down to Pisces. And bear in mind that these are going to be generalized readings. So for a personal one, you can go to my website, which link you can find in the description down below. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show, you can support it by subscribing for the channel if you haven't already, liking the video or comment on it. If you feel so, either of these actions are going to help with the algorithm. And finally, if you do wish to support it financially, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal, and whomever does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream that is guaranteed, just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Yasmin. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, you're going to have personalized reading, how Pluto retrograde is going to affect you personally. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, so the first star sign that I'm going to read for is going to be Aries. You can keep up with which star sign I'm reading for through the glyph being displayed, right there. And if you're watching it on a video, you can just skim ahead and check for your star sign. And finally, before I move to Aries, don't forget to watch for your moon and rising sign as well. If you're watching for your moon sign, that reading should describe how you're gonna feel in that period of time of Pluto retrograde. One card fell down. Hold on a second. Oh. Okay. If you're watching for your rising sign, that reading will describe how you are. This is the best way how you should deal with the situation ahead, and obviously the sun sign is going to show the situation ahead. So watching for all three should give you a pretty good idea what kind of a period and what kind of an influence Pluto is going to press on you. All right, so that said, starting up with Aries, and the first card for Aries, that will be Seven of Wands. Followed by the second card here of the King of Wands. And the third one, we have the Tower. So on a personal note, Pluto retrograde for you, Aries, is going to be about rebuilding stuff. Stuff that you lost or stuff that you are pretty much unhappy with, that are not answering and are not going forward aligned to your ambition. Okay, and within these 4 months, there are always going to be that type of situations in which you can take advantage of, so you can rebuild whether the project, whether the relationship. So from there on, moving forward, can answer and can be true to your ambition. Additionally to it, at least personally, these should be very joyful times in which there are always going to be people that you can spend and have a good time with, for a cup of coffee, for a cup of tea, for a cup of beverage, if that is your thing. And there is always going to be that interest in which you can just go out and have a good time, have fun, and go out partying. Now, on the downside here, This opportunity that you are going to have to rebuild and in generally to transform your ambition into very powerful drive is going to attract a lot of competition and as well enemies which are not going to be strong enough to challenge you directly, so they are going to try to undermine you through a surreptitious actions like spreading out rumors, spreading out gossips, talking bad about your name, and in generally undermining your authority. So it's going to be important that you do challenge those kind of people right away when you hear something fallacious about yourself. MT, thank you for the 20. Thank you, MT. Let me put you into the list, and at the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading, how Pluto retrograde is going to affect you personally. Okay. Next will be Taurus. King of Wands for Taurus. Ace of Pentacles. And then that is Page of Swords. So the main thing about Pluto retrograde for you, Taurus, it is that for the most part, is going to bring to you individuals, people, societies that are what we call it in our country is air under pressure. What we mean with that, it is a people that have a high standards, very high demands, um, high opinion of themselves with no backup whatsoever. And that is no different, okay, than, for example, your boss who owns the company steps off and gives away the place of his heir, that it is a spoiled brat that doesn't know anything about the business and all of a sudden starts making demands, telling you how you have to do your job, and so on and so forth. So on the relationship front, or rather like on the social front, you will be quite annoyed because there are going to be those situations which you won't be able to bypass those kind of individuals, those kind of people. And if you want to go forward with your aim, with your goal, with your progression, you will have to actually fulfill their ridiculous demands. But on a personal note, this also should be a very good transit for you, Taurus, especially a career transit, because according to these cards, some kind of a brilliant thought and idea is going to come up in your mind, either an idea for, I don't know, a novel, or an idea for a business, or an idea for in generally how to make money and how to be successful. Although you are going to have to wait a bit longer than these 4 months, because the resources that you might need in order to manifest it, and also the timing is not going to be right, and you're going to be fully aware of that. Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. Let me put you into the list, and at the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. How Pluto retrograde is going to affect you personally. All right. So going next, that will be Gemini. First one for Gemini, Eight of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Six of Wands, it's a good and simultaneously a underwhelming experience. It is a good experience because Eight of Pentacles, when it's influenced by the Four of Pentacles, it is the influence that makes so what you worked for so hard to happen and to be manifested. Whether you work very, very hard to prepare a plan for a business, or you work very, very hard to attract someone, or you have worked very, very hard to explain yourself, to prove yourself, in whatever the case. So whatever you have worked very hard for in that Pluto retrograde finally will become tangible. And to top it all off, it will be pretty secured. So unless you decide to walk away from it, to walk away from the job that you have worked very hard to secure, whether you have walked away from the relationship that you have worked very hard to make it happen, only you can walk away from it. No one else can take it away. However, with the Six of Wands next to the Eight of Pentacles, the experience, what you are going to gain from it, I don't want to say that it will be, you will be robbed, but maybe your impression, it's a bit on steroids, if I may explain it that way. It's a bit exaggerated, and what you are going to gain from it as an experience will not be the 100% you have expected, at least for the duration of these 4 months. But this won't be enough to subdue your conscientiousness, or the conscientiousness with which you are going to perform your duties, you are going to perform your job, or perform within the relationship or within the friendship. So long story short, guys, whatever you have planned for or you have prepared, you will secure, although the rewards reaped from it, at least at the start, are not going to be as big as you have hoped for. All right, so next, Cancer. Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Four of Wands. It's a, I would like to call it a spiritual growth. So the influence is going to be very, it's going to be very spiritual for you, Cancer. The influence of Pluto retrograde is not going to manifest in the material world, like bringing someone to you, or manifest itself as a job opportunity, but more of it is going to manifest by banishing the interest into risky and as well unjustified opportunities for you. So instead of wasting your time during that period of time, scampering around and trying out stuff, hoping that through trial and error, you will be able to find the thing that is right for you. Actually, Pluto retrograde is going to be like a compass that will immediately pinpoint in which fields or with which people you will be able to accomplish a maximum potential. And thus it is entirely up to you to trust that sense. You can call it intuition for the time being, although it's going to be just the compass of a Pluto retrograde. Although the enterprise is not going to be wrapped up for these 4 months, so further work and further efforts are going to be required after that. But at the very least, Pluto will be able, the Pluto retrograde will uncover what kind of potential you can have within that job or with that person or with that hobby, and from there you can decide whether you should go for it or not. So long story short, here you're going to have the eye for the value, and it will be quite beneficial to you to just follow the eye, or follow that sight rather. Okay, next that will be Leo. The Lovers, Two of Swords, Page of Swords. It is definitely about making all of the right choices. So Pluto retrograde is going to manifest that way for you, that you literally cannot make a wrong choice in the next 4 months. Although what is going to benefit you greatly if you don't rush it through. But because there is going to be beneficial choices and super beneficial choices for you, Leo. And it will be best if you go for, or rather like if you maximize your gains, if you maximize your earnings through the decisions that you are going to make. And according to these cards, how you can do that? Well, by waiting to the very, very last moment. And that way, the less beneficial choices will become unavailable, and only the most beneficial choices for you are going to become the most available. And as we do have the Lovers card, I will give you an example with relationships. Let's say that you do have 3 people that are interested in you, and you like all 3 of them, and you just don't know which one you're going to go for. Whichever one you choose is going to work for you, but with one is going to work better than with the other 2. So how you can decide, or how you can find out who that one is? Well, you wait long enough until these 2 are not interested any longer. They don't want to wait, and they just walk away, and only the one that is going to be the most beneficial for you is going to stay around. So stalling for them for as much as possible, your choice is going to make only the most beneficial one available to you, at least according to these cards. And through that, you will be able to restore or make a large harmony in your life, under which the problems you are facing right now, whether in your love life, or whether in your financial state, or whether in your career, because these could be choices about your money, they could be choices about your career, are going to resolve themselves on their own accord, and that will allow you to become more unique in terms of now doing things your way from there on moving forward. So it's a how can I put it into words? It's a huge adjustment that you will be able to do in your life due to the Pluto retrograde. That is, if you don't rush your decisions. All right, next, Virgo. death, Seven of Cups, Page of Pentacles. So death in Page of Pentacles has a very specific appliance, for lack of a better word here. A The card shows that you won't be able to be friend with someone anymore. You can become lovers, but not a friend anymore, because the death being there as a prime card, it shows, because if they were switched, if the Page of Pentacles was a prime card and the death card was just an influence, then it will be that individual from the other side will just want to step into something more, but the friendship still can carry on. However, when the death is the prime card, um, well, bon appetit, Taco. That means that this friendship is overdue. It's just it serves no purpose any longer, and it is just an agony for the one or for both of you. And either the friendship ends or either you become a lovers, okay, spouses. So the choice is going to be entirely yours to make. But outside of this specific case, these two cards speaks for a change of value. Something you have found very valuable up until this point will lose its value to another thing. Just an example, you have valued your current job, you stop valuing it under a certain reason, but another job that you are going to value even more than that one is going to show up and you will be able to start doing it. That could be also in relationships. You have valued your relationship thus far, but another more valuable relationship shows up and you are more willing to dedicate yourself to it rather than the current one you have. So don't be surprised if there is going to be a sudden change of value in your life. And this, as the death is the primary card, it suggests that you should go for it. You should replace one with the other, although it may with the Seven of Cups, sorry, with the Seven of Cups being next to the Death card, it shows that it will look like a stretch. It will look like a long shot, and at least at the start, maybe it is. But if you take things slowly and if you take things logically, like take on the logic rather than flying in the cloud nine and hoping that if things are meant to happen, they're just gonna happen by you sitting on your couch. This isn't going to work. So it's important to identify. Pluto retrograde is going to identify for you what will no longer work, and also is going to identify for you what can replace it. Don't hesitate to do so. Okay, next one, Libra. Well, Amelia, hopefully that is exactly how it's going to manifest for you. Most of the people are not gonna kind of like push away a job, and are gonna be happy to have a better job, better paid, more valuable, and so on. All right, Libra, the devil, Three of Cups, Two of Wands. Pluto retrograde is going to give you uh, maybe unconditional, maybe ultimate um, power over the people around you. So literally whatever you say is gonna go. You mentioned that you want to do something and everybody is gonna be on your side. You mentioned that there is an injustice. Again, everybody is gonna be on your side. Literally whatever view about the future you have, people are gonna adopt that view with you. So you will have the chance to become a leader. You will have a chance to become a harbinger, to become a judge. Um, that is figuratively speaking, of course. To become a mentor. Um, the cult leaders also fall into that. But long story short, your beliefs and your view for the future is going to be accepted and is going to be followed. And literally, you will be able to make people do whatever you like. Okay. Just so you know, though, there is going to be limits to it. That Two of Wands next to the Devil shows that the results in it are going to be good, but they will not going to be the ultimate results. So for example, if you make a relationship under these energies of the Pluto retrograde, this cannot be the best relationship you can ever have. So you can definitely do better without bending the will of the people to your liking, or bend people to your will. News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you, News Devon. What is coming your way? Okay. I have to use the other system than Tarot for that, so just so you know. All right, you are in the list. So yeah, Libra, long story short, you will have the power to bend people to your will, but that way your accomplishments are going to be mediocre. Scorpio. The Lovers. Knight of Cups. Death. Pluto retrograde for Scorpio is going to be influence, which is gonna make Scorpio. Can I put it into words? It's about the unities we have. I'm saying we because I'm Scorpio sun. It's quite difficult to explain, and it's difficult because the Death card. Which actually helps the Two of Cups. They are supportive to one another. Um, so imagine it that way. Under unity is quite different than relationship. In relationship, there are things which are hidden. There is still ego in it. There is still a shyness in it. There are still secrets in it. Unity is something different. Unity is when there is no shyness, there is no pride, there are no secrets in between the participants of the unity. So we're talking about the unities that we do have. Unity is hopefully something you have with your boyfriend or with your girlfriend, with your children, most definitely, especially if they're toddlers. Okay, hopefully unity you may have with your parents, and there are things that are not working out in these unities. There are always things that doesn't work out, and Pluto retrograde is going to emphasize on these things and is going to make all of the participants into that unity to work very, very hard in order to make the atmosphere in the unity as pleasant and as lovely as possible. And for the most part, those efforts are going to be successful. So it's alignments of unities under which or improvement of unities, which unity could be classified as relationships, business partnerships, also friendships, family relationships, and on a personal note, like a personal development for Scorpio, that Pluto retrograde is going to be all about making a peaceful environment and pushing away, banishing away the influence that are making our environment unpeaceful. So after that period of time, after this process, the calm nature should be even bigger than it is right now. The calm nature that we are in currently. Okay, next, Sagittarius. And yeah, for back to Scorpio, for those of you Scorpios who are single, very likely to find someone to fall in love with that Two of Cups and the Death card being in it, and Knight of Cups as well being there. So very, very likely. I would say 95% likelihood. King of Swords, King of Wands, Six of Cups, Six of Cups. Emphasizing on the job, I don't see how this could be related to your love life at all, and even to your social circle, because Pluto retrograde is going to meet you with a very, very cold people that the only thing that they're concerned with is getting the job done. Okay, and either these are going to be people that are aiding you, or people that you're going to work with or work for. Okay, and under aiding you, I mean, for example, a doctor, a medical doctor that is not concerned whether you like the treatment or not. They are not there to make you to make friends with you. They're there to cure you, or a lawyer that you are going to seek. Okay, they're not concerned whether you are comfortable or not with the procedure. The point is that the procedure is going to win the case, so they are going to go forward with it. Very ambitious people, people that have a lot of standing, a lot of status, a lot of resume, a lot of sovereignty as well. So under their care, they will definitely going to resolve the issue that you went in with, if these are a professional helps that you're going to face, or people, if these are people that you're going to work with, very professional, very high standards, okay, and very knowledgeable into the craft. So there is going to be a lot for you to learn from. But again, the experience is not going to be classified by you as a very, very pleasant one, because the job is going to be difficult, the demand is going to be high, or if it is a professional help, definitely the help will require from you to do stuff that you do not consider a very pleasant, like, I don't know, having to undergo a treatment that's is a bit shameful for you and for your standards, just saying, or say something that you don't want to say, and so on and so forth. All right, next, that will be Capricorn. Eight of Swords, Three of Wands, Three of Cups. Pluto is about personal challenges for you. No different than those kind of situations where everybody's telling you how you can't do something. Like, for example, how you cannot be successful in your own thing if you make a private business, or how if you walk away from your family you won't be able to handle your life, and so on and so forth. So those kind of talks and those kind of claims are gonna piss you off unbelievably high, and you're going to, at least according to these cards, at some point you're going to snap the hell out, and there is going to be an attempt here for you to break those limits that everybody else is bestowing upon you, that you won't be able to handle the job, you don't have what it takes, and so on and so forth. You're going to break those limits and prove everyone wrong by you undertaking the challenge that no one else believed, or almost no one else believed, that you are up for. And I think, but at least according to these cards, I think that you're going to do a pretty good job, and taking on that challenge, whatever that challenge is, will open up a lot of options available for you going forward into the future. Simply, you will unfold, expand, and unshackle your life from there on moving forward. So that aggression which you are going to have toward these that are simply taunting you and are trying to make you feel bad will play out very, very well for you when you channel it in the right direction. And that is what the cards are showing, that you wouldn't be able to do it by now because you have, I'm gonna put it into words, you have made a self-imposed limits based on what everybody else told you. That you aren't good enough, for example, to have your own private practice. Well, guess what? You will have enough and you're going to make your private practice. And it seems, according to these cards, that is going to be quite successful. Yes, I am. Oh, Sonia. Yeah, I am. I am doing super chat questions at the end. So Capricorn, those who try, that is a parable in our, or a say in our country. You know, when someone tries to guide your eyes out, sometimes they actually fix your eyelashes instead of harming you in any way. And these mental cruelties, attacks on your character and on your ego actually are going to play in a very, very good favor of yours. Okay, next, that will be Aquarius. Knight of Cups, Page of Swords, Two of Wands. For Aquarius, PLUTO retrograde is more of a lesson or a revelation, like a wake-up call, if you will, and it's close to mind, but sometimes we need to be reminded of it, that it doesn't matter how thorough we are answering the expectations and the standards of everybody else around. Because at the end of the day, even if we do a flawless job, even if we get to a flawless results, we cannot end up being as happy as we possibly can, because they are just not our thing. They were expectations of our, for example, parents, or for example, our spouses. So Pluto retrograde will remind us of it, and it's gonna make us abandon stuff that are simply we can't feel them. Okay, we can't feel, for example, that holiday which we are planning with our family, because it's just not a place we want to go, right? Or we are going to cancel on a, I don't know, a cinema, because that is not a movie we wanna watch. Or we are going to I don't know, uh, stop living at the place where we are living at, because it's just not the place we want to be at, and instead redirect those resources into the stuff we really want to do. So that is, a Pluto retrograde is going to remind us of our dreams, and that if we don't follow them, but instead we follow the dreams of everyone else, like friends, like family, we are not fulfilling, the purpose of our lives, if you will. So Pluto retrograde is going to remind us of our dreams and make us reallocate resources so we can start making something happen according to these dreams. And these are going to be rather strong efforts that are going to provoke some arguments with those around us. Why aren't you listening to me? What is wrong with you? And so on and so forth. Best thing it is just to not give any explanation whatsoever, just ignore and move on forward. And by the end of these 4 months, I think that we are going to be very, very happy with the results. All right. And at the end of the ecliptic, that is going to be Pisces. Eight of Cups. The Strength. Three of Swords. Uh, for Pisces is going to be a rough experience. Not bad one necessarily, just a rough one. Because Pluto retrograde is going to ignite the feeling in you that you are up for something bigger. Okay, that you are up for something more, that you can be better, that you can be more successful, that you are born for something greater than the state that you are in right now. But also through that as well, Pluto retrograde is going to highlight the environment and the circumstances you are finding yourself in right now, and remind you that while that is true, that you are born for something greater than that, right now is not the time to move on it. Okay, moving on it is just only going to make your current circumstances far worse than they are. So simultaneously is going to be a moment or a 4 months of where you are going to be already you are going to be ready to jump into some kind of a grand act, and in the same time that you will have to wait being prowling for that pounce until the time is right. And the time, at least according to these cards, is not going to be right within those 4 months. Hopefully very soon after that October 13, where Pluto is going to start going direct. But What is not going to help? It is the smothering of a close people. You know, like for example, I don't know, family members who are telling you that you are good for nothing, you stand for nothing, you are not as successful as you know as you could be, and that again a mental cruelty which is not gonna help you, all right? It just is gonna make you feel bad. But the circumstances are gonna change. Maybe not in a 4 months, maybe in a five, maybe in a six, but definitely a brighter future is awaiting for you after that Pluto retrograde is over. You just have to have the patience to wait it out. Sonia, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Yeah. Let me put you into the list. All right, guys, that was for the 12th, and now I'm gonna do the super chat. Uh, Let me get the cards. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, just a quick note. Sonia, Tarot cannot make choices for you. So you're asking for a direction. I will give you a suggestion through the card that I'm gonna draw for you. But ultimately, you will have to make your choice on your own. So, 1 second here, guys. You see some. Oh, hold on. All right. First one, Yasmin. These are your cards here, Yasmin. Pluto retrograde is going to affect your social, and it's gonna make things in between you and the people that you do communicate with quite unpredictable. In terms of that, there are going to be events, circumstances, and so on and so forth that they're going to be impossible to be predicted or to be guided, for a lack of better expression, and this is going to create a confusion and a problematic situations. So that field, your social, will be a point of stress. Okay, a stress that could affect your health. So it's going to be quite important, how can I put it into words, to do your part in the enterprises that you do have with your colleagues, with your friends as well. This excludes the intimate relationships, though. This is just the social, okay? And so do your part as fast as you can. Do your job as fast as you can, and just keep an eye, because doesn't matter how bad things are, Pluto retrograde as well is going to always give you or keep up an option in which you can pretty much turn things around. Okay. And also Pluto retrograde is going to affect you on a personal note, like a personal growth, personal development. And in personal development, Pluto retrograde is gonna make you so you do good accomplishments at work, in your social environment, like I mentioned thus far, in your relationship as well. And these accomplishments are not going to be final accomplishments. This is just a finalization of a cycle of growth in one or another field, that afterwards you can go to the next cycle of growth. So Pluto retrograde, additionally to all that, could be a predisposition here to attack some kind of a bigger position at work, expand on your relationship, for example, or expand on your social circle. Although that last one I do not advise you to, because it's just going to bring you more drama and more issues that you will have to deal with. And again, don't take things personally there, because it could seriously affect your health through stress and through pretty much putting too much nerve into these things. Okay, next, MT. Let's have a look how Pluto retrograde is going to affect you. You're welcome, Yasmin. All right, MT. Those are the cards. Let's start with the bad news here. Pluto retrograde, in one way, is gonna manifest for you with or in losses. and disappointments, which are going to prove themselves very necessary so you can find your way. I don't know what that means, but that is what the card says. Okay, you can find your way into something. You can find your way into the correct deal, for example. You can find your way into the correct place. You can find your way with the correct person. Talking about people, the most important thing, at least according to these cards, due Pluto retrograde, is going to be some kind of a communication, most likely led through a phone calls with a person from another country, and there is going to be a pretty good deal, partnership, union being established with that individual somehow. And finally, uh, Pluto retrograde is going to bring a lot of emotional confusion, in a sense of that there are some choices you have taken. They may not be recent choices. They may be choices from your past, okay, that are now going to start knocking on the door. Like their consequences of these decisions are going to start knocking on the door. And although you may not be happy with these consequences, they are going to prove that the choices you have made were the correct decisions, or were the correct decisions back in the day. And even if even if you had the chance to live that situation again, you still would have had to decide the same way, because it was just the right thing to do. So this Pluto retrograde for you is about overcoming disappointments and losses, transforming them into a temporary ones rather than permanent, and also finding the correct path for you, either the path of love, or either the path of money, or the path of career development, something of the sort. But like I said, the most important thing for you is going to be talking with someone from abroad about uniting with them, about making a partnership of sort. Okay, next one, Taco. You're welcome, MT. All right, mate. The Lenormand, where you have the radar, the moon, and as well the letter. So these are flatteries. You will be flattered from many sources. Okay. So that leads me to the conclusion that you will do something very good of yourself. Because the moon is involved, that is how people see you. And another thing with the tarot here, the Ace of Wands and Page of Pentacles. These cards are very prominent for a charity, help in a way without expecting anything in return. It doesn't have to be financial charity, okay? But Pluto retrograde is going to make you do something very good of yourself and hopefully as well for yourself that will be seen very highly of those around you. These are not just simply flutters that are, how can I put it into words, one time thing. That could be an article somewhere, it could be some kind of a post that is gonna be there to stay. All right, that deed of yours, or these deed of yours, are not going to be forgotten. Now, other than that, Pluto retrograde will be the period of a gainful opportunities for you, opportunities which you can generalizely speaking it, you can grow because these opportunities are going to be attuned to you. So these are opportunities that you can definitely handle, but they will present you with new challenges. So they will have what you can learn from. And through these opportunities, you will develop a skills, you will develop some kind of affinities, you will develop some kind of a talents of yours that will contribute very well for your life moving forward. They will make your life much, much more harmonious than it is right now, and will allow you as well to overcome certain troubles that you are facing currently, and overcome them with pretty much a big ease. But again, the benefit of these opportunities largely is going to be shared with the collective around you. So that is one more reason why you are going to be very highly praised and flattered as well, like accoladed and put on a pinnacle. So Pluto retrograde will, can I put it into words, will make you shine in the eyes of those around you. All right. Next, News Devon with the inquiry, what is coming my way? So as the subject is Pluto retrograde, this is for the next 4 months. Okay, the most important thing next 4 months that is coming your way. You're welcome, Taco. Those are the cards for you. News Devon. And they speak for a woman that will present you with the small gains at first. So an opportunities here and there that are going to be small opportunities, which are going to transform after that into a big success. It looks like a trial that you are going to be put under, and when you accomplish the trial successfully, that is, the real deal is going to be presented to you, which is going to make you very successful. So that is coming your way. So look yourself around for a woman that will make you some kind of a very small and tiny offer at first. And then Sonia So you want a general direction. Like I said, I can only make you a suggestion what to focus on. Knight of Cups. And Knight of Cups, it is the card that follows the dreams of thy heart, and therefore you should focus on your emotions and strive for the enterprises and the deeds that make you feel good, right? That makes you feel happy, and that makes you feel that you are fulfilling your dreams. Just to give you an example right now, I love playing video games, but I have to work. So if I were in your position, I would do the video games because they make me feel good, right? So focus on what makes you feel good and what is going to uplift you emotionally. If that's a job, go for a job. If that's a relationship, go for a relationship. But do not follow what how can I put it into words? What the collective tells you that you have to do, what the stereotype tells you what you have to do, because the stereotype doesn't uphold the dreams of your heart. You do. And so you will have to put the effort to fulfill them. Okay. So if you are feeling lonely, go out and dating and start dating. If you are feeling broke, then start applying for work. But Nine of Cups, it is the only card that does not rely on luck, and therefore the results that you are going to see are going to be completely reciprocal to your efforts. Mighty efforts, huge results. No efforts, no results. Don't doubt it. Just start doing so. Like I told you, Sonia, it's not going to happen on its own accord. This is the card that relies on its own capabilities. So you will have to do it for yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Not even the universe. So starting from tomorrow, listen to your emotions and do uh, what they require in order to feel good. All right, everyone. This is gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity as well. And we're gonna see each other in Sunday when we are going to have. Hold on a second. Mercury in Taurus, I guess. Yep. But we're going to have Mercury in Taurus. All right. So yeah. Hopefully, guys, we're going to see each other next time. And until then, bye.